Welcome to Enter the Unknown, your one-stop shop for answers to questions that you were never bored enough to ask. My name is FJ, and today I'll be answering the question, can you beat Pokemon Crystal using only Unknown? Unlike my previous challenge, I'm going to allow the use of multiple Unknown. Other than that, the rules are simple. I'm not allowed to use items in battle, I cannot use any Pokemon other than Unknown to battle, HM slaves are permitted, but if one has to be in my party for a battle, it must be fainted. With all of that out of the way, let's get started. Unfortunately, Crystal doesn't show you what kind of Unknown your starter is before you give it a nickname, so we have Chip, the Unknown S. Our first task is to determine the typing of Chip's hidden power. Attacking Pidgey rules out Grass, Ground, Rock, Bug, Ice, Electric, and Ghost. Sentret crosses Fighting off the list of potential types. Our first super effective move comes against Geodude, meaning hidden power is either Water or Steel. After narrowing it down to 2, we run into our rival and a not very effective hit on his Cyndaquil tells us Chip has hidden power Steel. It's not a particularly useful type, so there's a good chance Chip will not feature in our final team. Despite using a not very effective move, we manage to take down our rival Cyndaquil and win our first ever battle. In Pokemon Crystal, you can reach the Ruins of Alph and catch as many Unknown as you want before any significant battles. Now, I wanted to catch every form of Unknown, but apparently the first entrance only unlocks Unknown A through Unknown K, so after wasting a lot of hours finding the hidden power typing of every Unknown I caught and running out of money for Pokeballs, we'd made it to here. I think 35 hours of play before the first gym is around about normal. Our team to start is made up of Hobart, the Ice user, Jasper, the Electric user, Booker, the Fighting user, Indy, the Dark user, OP, the Fire user. Yep, I thought Unknown H was Unknown O at first. And Harris, the Water user. On top of that, we have 11 more Unknown in the box should we need them. The only 3 typings I hadn't found during my search were Psychic, Ground, and Dragon. The really great thing about Unknown is it gives you the ability to have super effective moves against just about any Pokemon early on in Crystal. With OP, Hobart, and Jasper, we tear through Sprout Tower without encountering any major issues. Next up is Falkner. The Violet City Gym Leader doesn't put up much of a fight with just 2 low-level Pokemon. His level 7 Pidgey doesn't even have a flying type move, but as Gen 2 predates abilities, it does have the option to hit my Unknown with Mud Slap. In the end it doesn't and just uses 1 tackle. The level 9 Pidgeotto can't do much more damage and Hobart earns us our first gym badge. After defeating Falkner, we make our way south, travel through Union Cave and towards Azalea Town. When we arrive we meet Kurt, who tells us of the town's problems with Team Rocket. We head to Slowpoke Well and Harris takes care of all the grunts inside. Team Rocket flees and now we can take on Bugsy in the Azalea Town gym. Going into this battle I was pretty confident. OP was starting to one-shot grass and bug types, so I knew I could take out Metapod and Kakuna pretty easily. After taking out Bugsy's first Pokemon with 1 hidden power, he switched into his Scyther. Fury Cutter was worrying. If Scyther got a streak going, he could probably have swept through my entire team. For some reason, Bugsy switched to Quick Attack after landing 2 Fury Cutters in a row and spared OP's life. Had he stuck to Fury Cutter, he probably would have won. Instead, OP took down Scyther and Harris finished the job against Kakuna. With that, we earned the Hive badge. As we were leaving Azalea Town, our rival caught up with us and challenged us to a battle. I'm probably the first person in history to actually struggle against the Zubat, but at this point in the game, Bite is really dangerous when you have a team full of Psychic types. This matchup took a long time, but eventually we took him down. Between this battle and facing Whitney and Goldenrod, not much happened. We took on every single trainer available to us and gained a bunch of levels, but nothing of interest occurred, so let's skip forward. Whitney has always given Pokemon Crystal players trouble. Her Miltank is an absolute animal. A cow, specifically. But even her Clefairy can cause problems depending on what Metronome becomes. Unlike millions of trainers who've been crushed by Whitney before though, I have a super effective move, courtesy of Booker. Clefairy's Metronome gets randomized to return, and I guess Whitney's bubbly, friendly persona is a front, because her Clefairy clearly doesn't like her. Booker takes her down easily, and then we get another stroke of luck as Miltank misses her first rollout. Had it hit, I probably would have lost. This challenge is all about riding our luck. That makes it 3 badges. On our way to Ekritique, Harris takes down the Sudowoodo blocking the road. Upon entering the Pokemon Center in Ekritique City, we meet a man named Bill who gives off some really weird vibes. After escaping the Pokemon Center, we try our luck against the Kimono Girls. Harris easily takes down Naoko's Flareon, Indy wipes out Sayo's Espeon, Booker crushes Zuki's Umbreon, Jasper knocks off Cooney's Vaporeon, and last but not least, Hobart finishes off Mickey's Jolteon. We are a well-oiled psychic machine, and as long as we don't come up against any dark or ghost types here in Ekritique, we should be fine. Before getting our shot at the gym, we have to find Morty, but when we do locate him, our rival is there again. I've spoken about this before, but I just love Silver's team. It isn't an amazing team by any means, but it's uniquely evil and it fits him perfectly. When we meet him in Ekritique, he has a Haunter, a Magnemite, a Zubat, and his Quilava. For a team full of Psychic-type Pokemon, Haunter and Zubat both have super effective moves that can cause serious problems. Once again though, we do manage to take him down. Following a brief encounter with Suicune, Usine does some gushing, and then we're ready to take on the gym. So yes, Morty is a ghost-type trainer, but I don't think it'll be too difficult to take him down. Oh. Oh no. Oh god. Okay. Maybe we need a better strategy. Morty has a team full of Pokemon who are just ready and waiting to end Unown's life. The Ghastly is actually fine. Indy can take him down in one shot. The first Haunter is manageable. He has Curse, so by sending out Booker as an Unown sacrifice, we can get him down to half health for free. As Booker's hidden power is fighting type, he can't do much in this battle anyway. From 50% health, Indy can take him out without taking any damage. The strategy for Gengar is basically just to ride our luck right past him. From 4 HP, Indy manages to get off back-to-back hidden powers. Then, after a quick switch to stop Gengar from healing up, Jasper lives on 2 HP to deal the final blow. His final Pokemon does manage to take out Jasper and Opie, but Harris comes in at the last second to clean it up and earn us our 4th gym badge. Not much happens between Ekritique and Cianwood, because I took out everyone in the lighthouse before battling Morty. The gym puzzle in Chuck's gym requires you to have a strength user in your team for the battle, so I have Surf the Krabby fainted in my party. Unfortunately, this means Opie has to sit this one out. Chuck only has 2 Pokemon, a level 27 Primeape and a level 30 Poliwrath. I don't have any super effective moves to take down fighting type Pokemon, so beating Primeape is a bit of a grind. Hobart almost takes him down but falls to Fury Swipes. Indy finishes the job but quickly goes down to Poliwrath. Booker faints too before Jasper eventually takes him down. With that win, we're now up to 5 badges and we have a battle with Jasmine coming up. After forgetting to pick up HMO2 Fly from Chuck's wife in Cianwood, we bring the medicine to Jasmine at the top of the Olivine City Lighthouse. She heals up Ampharos and agrees to return to the gym. Opie was clearly keen to make up for lost time after missing the last gym battle, so he just decided to demolish both of Jasmine's Magnemite in one shot. I switched to Harris for her Steelix, and she missed an Iron Tail, which allowed us to win the battle without taking any damage. Only 2 gym battles remain in Johto, and our team is just getting stronger. Having completed everything in Olivine, it's time to head east to Mahogany Town. Before we can take on Price, we have to investigate some strange happenings at the Lake of Rage. When we get there, a shiny red Gyarados is thrashing around in the lake. We float out to meet it on the back of a fainted Krabby, and Jasper wastes no time in knocking it out. We then meet a mysterious man named Lance by the lake's shore, and he asks for our help in dealing with Team Rocket. We join him and destroy the low-level Rocket Grunts without any trouble. After shutting down a generator and setting things back to normal at the lake, the gym is now open to us. Time to get our 7th badge. The unfortunate thing about Crystal is that whoever you take on for your 7th gym badge is going to be seriously underleveled. Price's team just doesn't pose much of a threat. A level 27 Seal, a level 29 Dugong, and a level 31 Piloswine are just no match for a flurry of Unown. Jasper quickly takes down Seal before Dugong delays the inevitable by using Rest. Piloswine isn't able to hold off Opie and Price is beaten. Before we can complete our set and pick up an 8th gym badge though, Professor Elm asks us to head to the radio tower in Goldenrod to investigate some peculiar broadcasts. In Goldenrod we find Team Rocket yet again, but they're still no match for Unown. After defeating a rocket executive posing as the radio tower director, we get the basement key and head underground. As Silver shows up in yet another rocket hideout, I wonder to myself why I never realised he was Giovanni's son. Our fourth rival battle plays out similarly to the others. Golbat and Haunter pose a bit of a problem, but he goes down without ever truly troubling us. At the end of the hideout though, there is an incredibly difficult battle. The final rocket executive has a Houndour and a Houndoom. Those two Pokemon are not easy to deal with a team of Unown. On my first attempt, I got past Houndour, but Houndoom swept through my whole team. It took several grinding sessions to get Harris up to a suitable level to take him down. Let's hope there aren't any elite trainers using Houndoom or we may be in trouble. No need to think about that right now though, we have an 8th gym badge to earn. Before I get too far ahead of myself, I do need to make a quick detour to catch an HM slave who can learn Whirlpool. If I happen to beat Claire, I'm going to need it to get through Dragon's Den, so I may as well make this stop now. Okay, with that out of the way, let's go win a gym badge. Our first run at Claire wasn't perfect, but we got very close. Hobart almost managed to take down all 3 Dragonairs by himself, but the difficulty truly starts with Kingdra. She only has one weakness, and you may remember that Dragon is one of the 3 typings that I don't have. Eventually, Kingdra finished off my whole team. I decided to return to the Ruins of Alph in search of a dragon. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to add a dragon user to my team, but I did find Tuck, whose hidden power is ground type. I needed to grind up a bit, and during my grinding session I ran into Raikou. I attempted to throw an Ultra Ball, but accidentally threw a Lure Ball instead. Shockingly, it didn't hold the beast, and he fled. I probably spent too much time grinding, because by the time I ended up taking on Claire, she went down fairly easily. I expect my levels aren't too much for the Elite Four though. Of course, Claire refuses to give us the Rising Badge without going to Dragon's Den first, so we head there to answer some complex questions like, what are Pokemon to you, and what helps you in battles? We pass the test, which shocks Claire. She informs us that she's never been approved. I can only assume she answers every question with the word dragons. What are Pokemon to you? Dragons. Okay, what helps you in battles? Dragons. Are you okay, Claire? Dragons? She finally recognises the brilliance of Team Unown and gives us our 8th gym badge. Before we leave Johto, we visit Professor Elm to receive a Master Ball, then surf east from New Barktown and take our first steps into Kanto. None of the trainers between Tojo Falls and Victory Road are up to much, so let's see the only trainer battle inside the tunnel. To get to this battle, you need a Pokemon with Surf and Waterfall, so Jasper is on the bench for this one. Rival battle number 5 starts just like the others. Booker annihilates Sneasel with one hidden power, Hobart one-shots Golbat, and although Magneton gets off a Thunder Wave, Opie takes it down without taking too much damage. One confused ray from Haunter briefly turns the tide in Silver's favour as he's able to take down Indy. Opie rights the ship quickly though, and he fights through paralysis to eliminate Haunter. Following that, Hobart takes down Kadabra. Typhlosion just spams Smokescreen and Flame Wheel and gets lucky. Somehow, the 10% chance to burn that comes with Flame Wheel has been boosted to 100%. Typhlosion takes down Harris and Booker before Hobart finally knocks him out. The battle was way closer than I was expecting and a little disconcerting knowing the Elite Four are next. After a bit of grinding, I decided to train up Tuck for the Elite Four. In a controversial decision, I let Opie sit out. 6 Pokemon in the Elite Four are weak to Fire-type moves, but only Forretress and Venomoth don't have a weakness to another member of my team. The decision was mostly made with Houndoom and Gengar in mind. They're going to cause a team of Psychic-type Pokemon more trouble than anyone else, and Tuck has super effective moves against both of them. Hobart starts off our Elite Four run in style, taking down both of Will's Xatu in one shot. We start missing Opie almost immediately, as Indy is unable to take down Jinx. Tuck's first contribution to the team is to finish that job. Hobart may be a little overleveled as he takes out Executor with ease. Will's final Pokemon is Slowbro. He boosts his special defense and then paralyzes Jasper, but he still goes down before knocking out any Unown. With that, the first member of the Elite Four is defeated. Koga is our second challenger, and honestly, I have no idea why I started this battle with Hobart up front instead of Tuck. It doesn't make a huge difference as Hobart takes down Ariados without much trouble at all. Another confusing decision followed as I switched into Tuck when faced with Forretress. Even though I don't have a super effective move against him, his defense is over twice as high as his special defense, so Harris probably would have been a much better matchup. An explosion ends up taking them both down. After that, Harris knocks out Venomoth and Hobart takes down Crobat even after Koga uses a full restore. Without Tuck, the battle with Koga's Muck is slightly complicated. Even though he was badly poisoned and weak to start with, Hobart takes out Muck and survives the battle with 6 HP. Bruno is up next. Bruno was in trouble before the battle started. Having a team of fighting type Pokemon facing off against 6 psychic types isn't going to be easy. The one saving grace for him is that I don't have any psychic or flying type moves. Hitmontop just spams Dig, and as Hobart went into the battle with just 1 PP for hidden power, he was forced to struggle his way through. Onyx gets demolished by Harris, who also takes out Hitmonchan. Bruno uses a max potion on Machamp just before he goes down, which allows him to take out Harris before being knocked out by Booker. Following a swagger from Hitmonlee, Booker hits himself in confusion and faints. One hit from Tuck is enough to finish him off though. With Bruno defeated, Karen and her Dark-type team are up next. Battle with Karen starts off with a bit of bad luck. Booker misses his hidden power following a sand attack, which prevents him from defeating Umbreon without taking damage. Murkrow also gets off a hit before falling to Jasper. Houndoom is up next and he sweeps my entire team. The problem was, he slightly outsped most of my team and they were just a bit too low level to survive a crunch. I know that I can get past him with a few more levels. After leveling the whole team up into the 60s and getting past Will, Koga and Bruno again, we're back to take on Garen. Umbreon and Murkrow go down pretty easily once again, and now that Harris outspeeds Houndoom, it only takes one shot to beat him. I'm not sure if the crit was needed, but I was more than happy to see it. Gengar uses Curse to make facing him a little easier. Indy's able to take him down without much trouble at all. Hobart rounds out the battle by knocking out Vileplume, and we've made it past Karen. Now, only the champion remains. The battle with Lance was one of the most satisfying experiences I've ever had in a Pokemon game. The whole time I was just picturing an episode of the anime where someone rocked up with 6 Unown and decimated Lance without losing a single Pokemon. Unfortunately, I needed to be up there in levels to get past Karen because I would have loved to take him on at a lower level. Everything in this battle went our way. We had 4 times effective moves on 4 of his 6 Pokemon, and Gyarados' Rain Dance boosted Harris' hidden power by 50% against Aerodactyl and Charizard. It's so fulfilling to take down the champion with 6 Unown. After Lance is beaten, Professor Oak and Mary show up to offer their congratulations and ask for an interview. Before they can ask any questions, Lance leads us away to induct our Pokemon into the Hall of Fame. I think we can all agree that Jasper, Indy, Hobart, Harris, Tuck, and Booker are all heroes, regardless of what happens from here on out. The credits roll, but our journey isn't over yet. Not until we've conquered Kanto. Before I get started though, I had to get rid of my guilty conscience. Opie was unfairly left out of our Elite Four team, so I leveled him up and went back through the Elite Four with him. Okay, with that out of the way, on to Kanto. Professor Elm gives us a ticket for the SSN, and we head to Olivine to board. Now, if you've ever played Pokemon Crystal, you know that the majority of the gym leaders in Kanto are pretty pathetic, so we're just going to speed through them. They do at least have some interesting Pokemon. Brock has an Omastar and a Kabutops, Misty's got a Quagsire and a Lapras, Surge has an Electabuzz, Eric has added a Jumpluff and a Blossom since Red, Blue and Yellow, Janine has, well, basically the same team as Koga, Sabrina's got an Espeon, and Blaine has a Magcargo. They're all too low level to do any real damage, but I do like that they at least mixed up their teams a bit. The only gym leader in Kanto whose levels are on par is Blue. Not only are his levels adequate, he has a powerful and diverse team. It shadows his champion team from Red and Blue, just without a starter Pokemon. His team consists of Pidgeot, Alakazam, Rhydon, Gyarados, Exeggutor, and Arcanine. The battle wasn't too difficult as his first 5 Pokemon went down before we lost a single Unown. Unfortunately, Gary's last Pokemon is a 6'3" fire dog who, according to Pokedex entries, can run at an average speed of 260 miles per hour. For context, a cheetah's top speed is slightly below 75 miles per hour, and yet somehow his base speed stat is on par with Diglett and Jinx, and it's lower than Pokemon like Raticate, Slacking, and Furfrou? You're telling me a Pokemon whose average speed over the course of 24 hours is faster than the top speed of every car in existence bar one. You're telling me that Pokemon can't outrun a Jinx. If you want to have nightmares, just remember that Jinx can apparently move about 6 times faster than the quickest racehorse ever. So, that's terrifying. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, Blue's Arcanine swept my team. For Blue Battle 2 Electric Boogaloo, we've grinded up a few levels. Did I call him Gary a minute ago? Just ignore that. Or pretend I said Blue. Anyway, if anything, his first few Pokemon probably do more damage this time around than they did at the first attempt. This time though, I've come with a strategy to take down Arcanine without having to deal with full restores. By doing damage with Jasper before switching into Harris, I can knock out Arcanine in one hit without getting him into the range where Blue will heal him up. The strategy works perfectly and Arcanine faints. With that, we've earned our 16th gym badge and we're nearing the end of our journey. Before visiting Professor Oak, we have one last battle with Silver in Mount Moon. We're so over-leveled for this one that it's pretty unfair on our rival. His team basically has no chance. I still like his team a lot, but it's really weird to me that he doesn't have Crobat at this point. If you rematch him at Indigo Plateau, he does, so I'm not sure why he wouldn't have one for the final official battle. Not that it would have made a difference. For the final time, Silver goes down without a fight. Okay, one trainer to go. We head to Pallet Town and Professor Oak makes arrangements so we can visit Mount Silver. When we get there and start training, we come across a shiny Ponyta. Don't let anyone ever tell you that grinding up Unown for hours isn't worth it. As we only have one ball, Ponyta becomes our Master Ball catch. Now, obviously we don't want to fill a spot in the team with a flash Pokemon, so we have to navigate Mount Silver in the dark. I've done this enough times in my life for it to just be muscle memory at this point. We eventually reach Red, and for the final time, it's time to battle. We got the whole team up to level 70, but even that is seriously underleveled. Red's team is made up of a level 81 Pikachu, a level 73 Espeon, a level 75 Snorlax, and 3 fully evolved Gen 1 starters at level 77. Our luck to start the battle is great, as Pikachu's charm fails, allowing us to one-shot him after Red uses a full restore. This was one of the main reasons I wanted to train up Tuck with this battle in mind. Espeon is up next, and as I decided to leave out Indy, we don't have a super effective move. Even though Espeon only uses Psychic, it still does enough damage to take down most of my team in 2 hits. Eventually, we grind him down and knock him out, but we lose 4 team members in the process. Booker comes incredibly close to taking out Snorlax single-handedly, but he comes up just short. The amnesia he used to boost his special defense ends up saving him against Harris, and we're beaten before seeing a single starter. It was probably a little optimistic to take on Red with my whole team at level 70, so let's train up a bit and try this again. I decided to get the team on a par with Red this time around. Tuck is up to level 81, Hobart, Harris and Opie are all at 77, Booker's level 75 and Jasper's at 73. This time Tuck gets past Pikachu and Espeon and Booker takes down Snorlax. Reaching Charizard with 5 full health Pokemon seemed like it was a great opportunity to win this battle. Harris and Jasper knock out Charizard and then it's a 4-on-2. Blastoise is just too much for them though. Hobart and Opie have not very effective moves and Booker can't do enough damage after Jasper is knocked out. Okay, one last grinding session. For attempt number 3, we got the whole team up to level 80 except for Tuck who's up to 90. For some reason it's incredibly easy to train up ground types right around Mount Silver. For the first time, we make it to Venusaur and there's a chance we could have won if Opie had outsped him, but... Okay, one more grinding session. Hey, look, it's Entei. Spending a stupid amount of time grinding up Unown is really a great way to unlock a whole new world of Pokemon. Oh, he fled. On our 4th attempt, we welcome a new member to the team as Baloo replaces Booker. With his Rock-type hidden power, he should be a good counter to Charizard, who has been giving me a lot of trouble. The reason I dropped Booker was because Tuck was able to take down Pikachu, Espeon and Snorlax by himself last time, so I filled the rest of my team with Pokemon who have super effective moves against Venusaur, Blastoise and Charizard. Going into the battle, Tuck is level 91, Jasper is at 86, Hobart is level 85, Harris and Opie are both at level 84, and as Blue started at 5, I thought 80 was sufficient. Red's Pikachu is up first, but now that Tuck is outspeeding him, there really isn't any risk. This is an easy one-hit KO. Espeon's base defense and base HP are 60 and 65 respectively, so Tuck's physical hidden power ground can take him out in 2 shots, even though it isn't super effective. Snorlax actually wasn't as easy as I expected. I needed a bit of luck to get past him. After a critical hit, we avoided paralysis from his body slam and were able to take down Red's first 3 Pokemon with just Tuck. We got a bit more luck against Charizard as he led with Fire Spin instead of Flamethrower. It wouldn't have done too much damage, but it would have done a significant amount more than Fire Spin ended up doing. The choice to bring in Baloo was a good one as his hidden power takes Red's Charizard down in 1. Blastoise is up next, and he's unfortunately a bit too powerful for Jasper to deal with by himself, although he does get incredibly close. The small amount of health that Blastoise is left with is easily wiped out by Tuck. With just Jasper down, it's a 5-on-1 when we get to Venusaur. Tuck's ground type hidden power is super effective on the grass and poison type, and with the help of leftovers, Tuck is able to knock out the final member of Red's team and answer our question. You can beat Pokemon Crystal using only Unown. In the final battle with Red, I actually took him out using just 3 Unown. Tuck, Baloo and Jasper were the only team members used, with Tuck taking down 5 of his 6 Pokemon. This was beyond time consuming, as you may imagine. We ended up with 6 Unown over level 80 and 2 more over level 70. By the time I took down Red, I had been crowned champion 18 times over and had logged over 450 hours of play. I have a feeling that number is not entirely accurate, but this certainly wasn't quick. I had a lot of fun making it though. In my last Unown challenge, I didn't get to use hidden power a lot, and that's a big part of Unown's gimmick. This time around, I wanted to use it more, and I think other than one struggle, I accomplished that. I hope you're able to have as much fun watching this as I had making it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.